concepts that portray American history in a negative light. The so-called Teachers' Loyalty Bill states that no teacher shall advocate any doctrine or theory promoting a negative account or representation of the founding and history of the United States of America in New Hampshire public schools, which does not include the worldwide context of now outdated and discouraged practices. Such prohibition includes, but is not limited to, teaching that the United States was founded on racism. Joining us now is Jamar Tisby. He is the author of How to Fight Racism, a guide to standing up for racial justice. Your reaction to this proposal?
Well, I find it very dispiriting that proposals like these are happening at all, let alone right now. It's February 1st, the first day of Black History Month, and yet it's that very history that is under attack here. But let's think about what's really going on. These legislators and the people who are supporting these bills probably aren't expert historians. So I think what's really happening here are loyalty tests. Loyalty not to the truth, but loyalty to this myth of American exceptionalism, that the United States has been on this inevitable march toward progress, and aside from a few missteps here and there, that society largely works equally and fairly for everyone. Well, that's simply not true, and it's an awfully convenient narrative, because that means that whatever issues, whatever struggles that Black people, Indigenous people, and other people of color face in this country is due to their own flaws and shortcomings, and it lets people off the hook for doing things on a system-wide, a law, a policy, or practice level to make things more equitable.
So my understanding is this New Hampshire proposed law is based on Red Scare type stuff, where initially the law is you can't teach communism or Marxism in New Hampshire classrooms, and this bill is just repeating what that one says. You, I also understand, are a former middle school principal, right?
That's right. That's right.
So
I was a
how does this hit you?
sixth grade teacher and middle school principal. Yeah.
So as a principal, what would your reaction to this be?
It's shocking. It's appalling. It puts a chill on the passion and joy of teaching. Most educators get into this because they love students and they love the content that they're teaching. But what this law does is essentially deputizes anyone, from students to adults, to be able to tattle on their teachers about any content that they find uncomfortable. And what must that do to an educator who simply wants to teach the curriculum the best way they know how? And it makes it very difficult. I think we're going to have recruiting problems for teachers, and unfortunately these are people who are already overworked and underpaid. They've been dealing with a pandemic for 3 school years now, and then you layer this on top of it all. This is extremely frustrating, and it shouldn't be happening.
Yeah. What do you think is at the heart of this? Because you can still love your country and look at its blemishes and learn from mistakes. I mean, that's one of the things that is amazing about America, and that, in other places people can't do.
That's right. Martin Luther King Jr. said there can be no deep disappointment where there is not deep love. And so those of us who are disappointed in the history of this nation and many of the present injustices, is because we have a deep appreciation for where we are. It's been said that you will know the truth and the truth will set you free. Well, they're hiding the truth. They're denying the truth. And the reverse is true as well. If you tell lies and if you believe lies and myths, then those lies will imprison you. And so we can't truly make progress in this nation along the lines of racial justice until we face the truth, which is something that so many people in this country have become experts at denying and avoiding. But the truth will out no matter what.
Right.